How is it going, my heroes, my villains, and everybody in between? Sean Ross here, and welcome back, guys, to another live reaction to My Hero Academia. We are on manga chapter number 309, entitled Can't Be a Child Anymore.
Oh, help me! I'm here! I can't do this anymore. I don't think my heart can handle another scare.
I'm sorry. Everything's fine. I'm okay, Mom. There's no need to cry.
That look on your face. You're so grown. While I wasn't looking, the hero you admire so much actually began to admire you. I hope that knowing how wholeheartedly he respects you makes you happy, son.
And I'm guessing this title might be referring to Deku on how he's kind of taken his kid gloves off by leaving UA and going out on his own. But I am looking forward to seeing where this week's chapter is going to go, especially coming off the events of last week's chapter, where we got the rematch of Deku v. Muscular, if that's even what you want to call it, because our boy Deku absolutely smoked Muscular in more ways than one. By using his new quirk strategically, and by using the opening that Yoshindo provided him, Deku was able to take control of the situation, move in there with ease, and take Muscular out with just one punch. So, going into this week's chapter, I'm curious to see what Deku plans to do with the now KO'd Muscular and where we go next with Deku moving forward. So, mount ladies and gentle criminals, without further ado, let's dive right in to chapter 309. Okay, first page of the chapter, and it looks like we are kicking things off with the other third-year students from Ketsubutsu. We got Shikui Makabe, hero named Mr. Smith, and Itajiro Totaki, hero name Boomerang Man. And I remember these two from the provisional licensing exam. They made a good combo team together.
Run.
But they were also the ones that called Tatami 2 chapters back, telling her to run and get out of there because Muscular was moving in.
Run, bitch! Run!
And right now it looks like they're rushing in to make sure their friends made it out alive. Hey, check it! As we see them moving through the city streets, they look up into the sky to see Deku leaping in the opposite direction, carrying an unconscious and KO'd Muscular. Jailbreaker, he's been... And these two can't believe someone actually took down Muscular. And then we just see Tatami looking on as she watches Deku leap into the distance. I never got to thank him. And then we see the mustache militia leader and a few others come walking out of the gym, and they load Shindo onto a stretcher. Here, miss, use this. Pull the car around. You'll have a tough time hauling him on your own. See, we don't want anyone dying either. So I figure we should at least hear you out.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Really? Wow, it's amazing how quickly this militia group changed their mind as soon as Muscular arrived on scene. It made them rethink their entire situation. And now they're like, okay, we'll talk with you students and maybe rethink about taking shelter at your academy. And as they are carrying Shindo away, we can see one of Shindo's eyes beginning to open. He's beginning to regain consciousness. And he is thinking back to the moment when Deku saved him during the licensing exam.
Again? Are you kidding me? No, you'll be incinerated! Damn it! What are you two doing?
Was that the one from the exam? But he's got a totally different vibe. Was that really the same kid? Well, I guess Shindo is being able to pick up the different vibrations coming from Deku right here. But it's nice to see that he recognizes this is the same kid that saved him way back when, but now Discount Deku owes him twice for saving his life. And this right here answers my question on what Deku plans to do with Muscular. we transition over to the Dyna police station, where we see Deku land out front and getting ready to hand Muscular over to the authorities. And waiting out front for Deku are heavily armed guards at the ready. You just see them in full body armor with guns, batons, as well as riot shields. Halt! State your business. And from within the smoke, you see Deku just raise his arms, letting the guards know that he means them no harm. You have Iron Maidens here, right? And the guards look through the smoke to see that he has captured Muscular. Wait, that's Jailbreaker. Wait! And Deku is out of there. We see one of the armed guards approach Muscular to arrest him, but as quickly as Deku arrived, he leaves without them learning who he was, and now Deku is parkouring from rooftop to rooftop, Spider-Man style, through the city.
Focus! I can do this!
He's going full on Spider Deku, and I absolutely love it. The fourth has quieted down. And now that he has captured Muscular, Danger Sense is no longer going out of control in his head, and it's starting to get quiet. Which begs the question, how long will Danger Sense remain quiet? And we see Deku taking out his phone. All Might, I'm headed back. So Deku hasn't been working alone at all. Even though he left UA, he's been working alongside All Might this entire time, which is great to see. And then we go over to this panel shot of a darkened alleyway. Look! Is that the Genus Mobile?
To the Batmobile.
Unless All Might has a similar vehicle, I think All Might just borrowed the Genus Mobile for the time being. And this panel shot is very Batman-esque, with the Batmobile in a darkened alleyway, and we have All Might standing right next to it, who is rocking some pretty badass glasses on his face right here as he stares up at the sky and he sees Deku coming in hot for a very shaky superhero landing.
You're gonna do superhero landing. Wait for it. Woo! Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Another happy landing.
It looks like Deku needs to do just a little bit more training on the landing aspects when using Nanda's float work. But it looks like he's able to save himself on this landing as he comes sliding in next to All Might, with All Might asking the question, "You hurt?" "I'm alright." And we see Deku picking himself up off of the ground. And All Might takes the glasses off. "Your arms and legs? Just fine, thanks to you." And we see Deku taking the mask off. Good thing you ordered these from America before the border was shut down.
Behold.
These mid-gauntlet compression support items. So those weren't bandages on his arms. He's been using mid-gauntlet tech. Very similar to what Melissa's shield gave him back in the movie Two Heroes.
Try pressing the button here on the back.
A glove?
As far as names go, I was thinking full gauntlet.
It doesn't specify whether it was to Melissa or David Shield, but you know they probably were responsible for sending these over for Deku. Well, they're just test samples, but they're made for endurance. They should reinforce your whole body though. They won't survive your output at 100%. So no going overboard before the big rematch. Got it?
Know my power.
Yo, are Deku and All Might using this as on-the-field training to prepare for their rematch against All For One and Shigaraki as they search for him?
It's just like All Might said. Until my body is able to catch up to my quirk, I won't use One For All at 100%. I'll make myself stronger. I'll keep fighting and become the ideal hero I want to be.
No matter what happens to me. And we see Deku just moving and shaking his fingers and arm, making sure that everything feels okay. Right.
A phone call is here.
Of course.
Call is here.
And now we see All Might's phone beginning to ring with the ringtone I'm on my way! I'm on my way! A phone call is here! And Deku just puts the mask back on as he's thinking to himself, from the Silver Age TV special. Of course he knows where that ringtone was coming from.
What's up, Danger?
Then, Danger Sense activates once again. Danger nearby, and Deku can sense it. Hello? All Might, is Midoriya doing okay? And we have Hawks calling All Might right here, as we can see Best Jeanist and Endeavor fighting a gigantic villain in the background.
Clunk!
Ooh. But I don't see Hawks' wings.
It'll probably take another day or so.
Are his wings starting to come in yet?
Just tell me, will they grow back?
Given time, perhaps. But it's like losing a limb, and...
It's been at least over a week, and it usually takes about 2 to 3 days for his wings to fully regenerate. Ouch! I think Dabi did a lot more damage to Hawks' back than we initially thought, because if his wings are not back yet, Hawks might have suffered permanent damage thanks to Dabi. And then we see All Might replying to Hawks, yeah, no problem so far. Actually, he just got back. Sorry, gotta run. And just like that, Deku is back on the move because he can sense danger nearby. And All Might just turns and says, and now he's gone again. He's probably wary of putting you or anyone else in danger. One line of thinking would be to keep him completely isolated to prepare to counter what's to come. But if the ones who cracked open Tartarus like an egg come well prepared themselves, it's all over anyway. Like the boy said, proactively seeking out the enemy raises our odds of victory. I realize this puts you in a tough position, but please do your best to support him in the meantime.
Flashback.
Recovery Girl performed some pretty strong healing on your arms while you were unconscious, so you should be able to move them around fairly well. But they were seriously messed up.
Right. Thanks for your help, Doctor. I'm sorry for any trouble I caused.
Ooh, but it looks like we're flashing back to the hospital right here. Thanks to cutting-edge medical treatment and Recovery Girl's arrival at the hospital, a large number of patients recovered and were discharged. Izuku Midoriya wasn't far behind. And not only is All Might in Deku's room, but we see Inko, Deku's mom, sitting right by her son, as we see the cast coming off of Deku's arms and legs, and he's moving him around to make sure everything feels all right. It seems that you've previously been warned that these extreme injuries could leave you immobilized.
It's me, Mario!
And there he is! It was only a matter of time. It's a me, Dr. Mario! This hospital really is the Super Mario Brothers hospital. First we had Dr. Yoshi, then we had Dr. Toad, and now we have the man himself making an appearance, Dr. Mario, tending to Deku's wounds.
Hi, everybody!
Dr. Mario!
You're lucky that you didn't suffer quite the same injury. In the past, it was as if the little explosions were contained in your body, but this time, they made their way to the surface. Additionally, I suppose you use your quirk to wrap and reinforce your limbs from the inside out to keep them from shattering.
Get over here!
Yeah, and we saw Deku achieving this by wrapping Black Whip around his broken arm by making a makeshift Black Whip cast as he continued to attack Shigaraki with his bombardment of smashes. And then we just see Deku right here staring down at his arms, looking at the scars and the damage dealt over time, and thinking back to what the doctor said about his previous damage when he fought against Muscular.
But they were seriously messed up. You've done absurd damage to your body in the last few months. Frankly, this is a whole new league of trauma. It's bad for your bones and muscles to get battered, of course, but it's worse for your ligaments. Ligaments protect the joints, and yours have seriously degraded. In other words, if you sustain this type of injury, even just 2 or 3 more times, I don't think you're going to be able to move your arms anymore.
The injuries were similar in nature, but your body has changed since then. Nevertheless, The deterioration hasn't stopped, so do be careful. Yo, this actually makes sense right here. We are basically comparing Deku's body when it was at 5% to now at 45%. The injuries he received were similar, but the backlash from the damage has been reduced because his body has gotten stronger and has become a more proper vessel at 45% when compared to 5%.
You're overflowing with energy at the moment. With training, your body will hold it better. Then it's yours to command.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Oh, I like using that explanation. Increasing the percentages is actually making him a more proper vessel for the power overall. Hey! Okay, but now we see Inko chiming in. She's beginning to talk with both Deku and All Might. May I ask for an explanation? Is that okay, kid?
What the fuck?
Yup, and we have All Might explaining everything to Inko. Look at her in this panel right here. She is in complete shock and just overwhelmed with all of the information she has just received, with All Might telling her everything.
Now that it's come to this, explain what's happened between me and young Midoriya. It's only fair.
No! No! She wasn't ready! She wasn't ready!
This is a lot for Mama Midoriya to handle right now. His power, he's able to maintain it because he was born quirkless. But that's also why the bad guys are coming after him now. And you just see her sitting there in shock, holding on to Deku's hand. What's going to happen to him? We're making arrangements to keep him protected. Yue will serve as a...
Nope.
And Deku cuts him off by saying, I'm not going back to Yue.
I know who I'm meant to be, and that's what I'll train for! At UA or not! I swear it!
I thought you might say that. And All Might is on the same page with Deku. He's like, I knew you were going to say that, kid.
You what?
But Inko just looks over at Deku with tears in her eyes and screams, Izuku! Shigaraki has the ability to locate me. It wouldn't even come as a surprise if he showed up to attack me right now. But I don't want anyone else to get hurt. Look. And we have Deku thinking back to the battle and how everyone got hurt because of him. Best Jeanist, Ryukyu, Gran Torino, Aizawa, Shoto, Bakugo, Endeavor, and Nejire. He wants no more people to get hurt because of him moving forward. If they reach full strength, things will get worse than ever, which is why I have to stop Shigaraki and All For One before that happens. And then just looking at Inko, she is about to break down right here as you see tears beginning to well up in her eyes as she is pleading to her son, but you're in the hospital now because you couldn't beat them. I'll get stronger. I know I said I felt reassured, but no. Hearing all this, I can't take it.
Everything's fine. I'm okay, Mom.
Yo. And you just see this soft, gentle expression come over Deku's face as he stares down at his mom's hand and squeezes it gently within his. Mom, when you thanked me and smiled, you don't know how happy that made me, and that's why. And he is thinking back to when he used to play hero in his house, when he would burst into the room dressed as All Might to save his mom. Oh, save me! I am here!
Back when you were quirkless, you were always so happy just watching the heroes do their jobs. Maybe it was better that way. I don't know. Forgive me, Izuku.
Oh, help me! I am here! Super!
Wow, thank you so much, All Might. Oh, you were my Izuku all along.
Adorable.
Yo, these two panel shots right here, showing a happier past with quirkless Deku pretending to be a hero for his mom and them just enjoying the time together.
I'm sorry.
Then you have the bottom panel with Mama Midoriya crying in Deku's arms because he now has a quirk. He's going to become the hero that his mom always hoped he would be. I have to go, but it's okay. I'll come home to you. And as he is hugging her, he is reassuring her, basically saying, you prepared me for this. I will come home. I'm going to save the world for everybody, but I'm also going to save it because of you. Yo, I love those 2 panel shots. But now we see All Might thinking back to when he was bowing before Inko Midoriya, before Deku's mom, and pleading to her that he will protect Midoriya even if it costs him his life.
Will you allow me to devote myself to young Izuku? Together we will go beyond. I will lift him up, and I will protect your son, even if it costs me my life.
All Might, don't give up your life. He needs you to protect him, raise him. If you can promise me you'll do that, then he can return to UA.
I promise.
I know I can't stop you from going, so I'm coming too, whether you like it or not. And you see tears streaming down All Might's face. He is ready to keep that promise that he made to Deku's mom. But him thinking back to that is now making me think that All Might could die moving forward with how they are pursuing Shigaraki.
There's a very bad feeling about this.
This right here is planting a death flag for All Might right now. The boy is leaving? Ah, not at all. Yes, I see. Right. This works in our favor, I suppose.
Look at this dude.
What is this man Best Jeanist doing right here? Who holds a phone like this? What a neat way to hold a phone. What the fuck is that? Even Endeavor and Hawks are looking at this man like, Jeanist, what the hell are you doing? He's holding that phone like L from Death Note.
Yes? Hello?
What do you mean, hello?
Oh, is that you, Light? I guess someone must have dropped this phone in all of the commotion earlier on.
He may be the only one who can determine Shigaraki and the villain's location. We were already considering making him the focal point of our efforts. Yes, very well. In that case, we shall follow in his wake while maintaining a safe distance.
I'm alive.
Ooh, but then later that night, before Deku left the hospital, he went to visit Gran Torino. Is that so? Still crying about it, even in death. So Deku was able to tell Gran Torino about his conversation with Nana, kind of getting a chuckle out of Gran Torino, but then he lets out a big sigh. I should have made the kill. Sorry. Don't be so rigid. Killing can be another way to save someone. Never forget that. And we see Gran Torino passing his tattered cape onto Deku. And either way, you gotta settle the score with the League of Villains. Yo, and we got this epic team up right here. Team up, top 3, and Deku, and All Might.
You can't run anymore, League of Villains. Understand? Because we are here now to make you pay for what you've done.
So all of them are coming together to go after Shigaraki and the League. And it kind of makes it sound like Deku might not be aware that the top 3 will be teaming up with him. Like, the top 3 are going to maintain a safe difference following after All Might and Deku, but once they find out the location of Shigaraki and All For One, they are going to move in and assist Deku in taking out Shigaraki. Yo, I can't wait for this. That is the end of this week's chapter. Next chapter hits April 25th.
After my mother gave me permission, I left home and started a new life.
Tomura Shigaraki, Shimura's grandson. Remember that no matter his lineage, he's still a criminal.
Tomura Shigaraki. The other heroes and I have come so far to stop you. So that's what I'm gonna do!
Yo, this right here was a nice setup chapter coming off the hypeness that was the rematch between Deku and Muscular. And I'm glad this chapter actually gave us the time to catch up with Deku with where he currently is by flashing back to the hospital. Not only do we come to understand the type of injuries that Deku sustained, but we also come to see that his body has become stronger and is a more proper vessel that he has upped the percentage now to 45%. And also, Deku's mom is in on the secret. All Might and Deku told her everything about the secret of One for All and what Deku will be doing moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, we are moving forward with this epic team up of All Might, Deku, and the top three, our three amigos of Endeavor, Hawks, and Best Jeanist. Though I am a little nervous still about Hawks because we didn't see his wings at all in this chapter, and I'm curious if they are going to fully regenerate in maybe a few more days' time. A little nervous with that, but big nervous with All Might right now because he's the only quirkless individual and he's going to be by Deku's side in pursuing Shigaraki. And I just have a feeling that Sir Night Eye's prediction will be coming true and we are going to see All Might's gruesome death because I had a feeling that there were some death flags planted with All Might in this week's chapter. So with that, guys, that right there is my live reaction to chapter 309 of My Hero Academia. We definitely had a lot go down in this chapter, and I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts on Muscular being arrested, Deku and All Might working together, the flashback to the hospital, Deku's injuries, Inko learning about One for All, visiting Gran Torino, and lastly, the 5-man team-up squad of Deku, All Might, and our top three. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below and feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon that you guys can be alerted for every new MHA reaction that pops up on the channel. But if you guys want to talk about other things or talk about MHA outside of YouTube, feel free to also follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can also be found in the description down below. That's going to do it from here, guys. So until next week, when we have chapter 310 of My Hero Academia, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond, plus ultra!